Hello and welcome to this micro training video from FMCG Academy. Simply pause on the screen if you want to read the cover slide. Today we're going to go on to the third scenario of understanding the impact of common scenarios that impact the product P&L. I'm hoping you've already seen the original video which was posted quite some time back on how to construct the full P&L. So we've done this one much before in an earlier video, the higher list and wholesale price scenario. We've done the shelf and promotional pricing scenario. Today what we're going to do is weeks on promotion. So the retailer may demand more or less weeks on promotion. Normally it is more, it won't be less. And the other two scenarios we'll attend at a later date. So the scenario today is weeks on promotion, and simply says retailer may demand more weeks on promotion. Let's jump straight into Excel and see how this plays out. Now this was the original spreadsheet which we were using, which has got the descriptors on column C. I'm hoping you've already seen that, and this is the sheet I've been using to explain how variances occur. So column H, I and J are frozen columns, and you will find that the numbers don't change. So everything is currently we're showing no variance. That's the variance cell. We've got a split screen out here, so we're splitting the screen so we keep an eye on the P&L as we make changes to different metrics in the P&L. Column K will capture the absolute dollar variance, and you'll see that come through. The percentage variance will be captured in column E. So the green cells are absolute percentage variances, as you can see that formula there, which basically is the variance between cell F and I. While the red cells, which are cost structures, it's going to capture just the variance between the percentage of gross sales. So that variance between that is the cost percentage increasing, etc., or decreasing. So let's get into it. Essentially what we have now is we've come back to the standard P&L, $5 shelf price of the product and $3.99 you're promoting at. We originally submitted to the retailer at saying we're going to promote this 18 weeks of the year, and we're going to promote it at $3.99 down from $5, and we are going to achieve 20 units per store per week in terms of sales, giving us about 51% in terms of units on promotion. So now the retailer is saying, look, I don't want to work with 28, I want to work with 26 or maybe 24. So let's go 24, for example. So if the retailer has to promote 24 weeks, what happens then? So the P&L immediately jumps. As you'll see, the gross sales value jumps 8.6% to $240,000. Discretionary trade spend also jumps. In percentage terms, it does jump from 11.2 to 13.7. So now your trade spend percentage in your P&L has just gone up. Your fixed trade spend percentage hasn't changed at all. The absolute number has changed because you're selling more units, because you were selling 18 units, you were promoting at 20 units per store per week for 18 weeks, and now you're going to do it for 24 weeks. It's roughly 33% more in terms of promotional units. Net product contribution is up 1.7%, so it all flows down. Net sales value of 94,000, so 240, you've given 140 back to the trade, and you're left with about 94. And then your product cost doesn't change as a percentage. The absolute number does change. You're left with a positive net product contribution of 1.7%, so you're making roughly $20,000 more, and your sales and marketing contribution is also $20,000 more than what you originally planned. So it's all a good story the moment you change that. What's happened here now is the units on promotion has jumped from 51 to 63. Total units are 8.6% more, which is positive. Total retail sales value is 5.7% more. So you've given a bit more in terms of price. If your units are growing at 8.6, but your value has only gone up by 5.7, so you're giving a bit more in terms of price. So what's happening there? So there's no real big issue apart from the fact that some brands just don't want to promote as much and don't want to sell at a cheaper price on an average basis. So you're not going to be promoting 24 weeks, and your trade spend percentages may be under guidelines. You may not want to go to that level. So those are some of the implications that can happen. The other more consumer or shopper based implication is when you promote more, your average unit sales per store per week may not hold as much. It may not hold at 20. So let's see if it ends up averaging at 19, then what happens? So, well, few numbers turn red. In fact, you're now back below your profit levels, what you started with. Trade is obviously getting more, so your retailer is going to be very happy. They've suddenly got another, what is that total number there, $108,000 out of you. Your gross sales is up, which actually means nothing. Your net sales is up 1.8%, which is a positive. Your net product contribution actually is down, so you lost $10,000, which then cascades down to the sales and marketing contribution, assuming your advertising investments remain the same. So these are some of the implications you see in terms of just by changing weeks. If the retailer went for 26 weeks and this dropped to 18, for example, you can see how minor the changes are and how immediately they can impact the P&L. If you go to 18, it doesn't achieve 20 because you promoted so much more. Then you're going to sit at negative 5% in your P&L. So these are just some of the examples in the way the P&L gets affected when you start promoting more or less based on retailer demands or maybe your internal planning. I hope you enjoyed that. Talk to you guys later.